Hey everyone, welcome back to my fragrance review channel. This is Britney Spears week and today is day 5. Every day this week I have been reviewing new Britney Spears fragrances. Today I am completely dressed for the beach because I'm going to be talking about Britney's most summery, most beachy, most tropical fragrance that she's ever created, and it is called Maui Fantasy. Now I've sort of talked about in the past how I really like Britney fragrances because she puts a lot of her own personality and her own character into a lot of them, and this one is no exception because the whole inspiration for the fragrance was, of course, Maui in Hawaii, and the reason she did that is because it is her absolute favorite vacation spot. She loves going there every year, she loves taking her kids there, and she wanted a fragrance that just sort of took her back to that tropical beach and represented that very special time of the year for her. So I just wanted to read you a little thing that Britney wrote regarding the fragrance and its inspiration. So Britney says, "Whenever I have a chance to relax and spend time with my family, we escape to Hawaii. Maui is one of my favorite islands. I wanted to create a fragrance that gives me that amazing feeling I have while I'm there, surrounded by the ocean and beautiful flowers. Every time I smell Maui Fantasy, it brings me back to a place of happiness and relaxation." So that is what this fragrance is supposed to represent. So let's begin by taking a look at the advertisement. So here's the ad for Maui Fantasy. We have Britney lying on a flotation device in a little bikini, drifting off into relaxation. We have a picture of the bottle on the bottom. We have a little message from Britney herself saying "Aloha from Hawaii, XOXO Britney." Now this image of Britney is an older one. She looks quite young in it, and she actually still has her belly button ring in, which she took out quite a while ago. So it's sort of a vintage picture that she decided to use. I would have liked a more recent, Britney in Hawaii kind of picture, but this still, of course, does capture the essence of the fragrance, and it's clearly, you're clearly going to get a summery experience from the fragrance just by looking at the advertisement. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the box now, which I have sort of washed ashore in this little wooden crate. We have seaweed, we have sand, we have crabs, and a little box of Maui Fantasy, the heart of the ocean. Now this is actually probably the most different fantasy box she has in her entire collection. I have all of my boxes kind of like over here, and when I see this one, it kind of is like the oddball. It doesn't really look like a fantasy fragrance. It has some casual writing, the Aloha from Hawaii that Britney wrote, and it doesn't have any signature fantasy box things like the leaves or even like the crystals. So we have a nice bright blue color, Maui Fantasy, written in gold with Britney's message on the top, and a little hibiscus flower. And actually this is interesting because the box is sort of double layered. Like as you can see, you can kind of like go right in there. And that type of design actually goes along the whole sides of the box. It has a inside white box surrounded by this blue box that kind of acts as the outer portion of the box. So it's like a double box actually. So it gives a nice little 3D effect. And then on the back of the box, we don't have the ad, but we do have sort of the, the bottle representation. We have Maui sitting on the beach with some flowers and some hibiscus on the top and bottom as well. This is the 30 milliliter bottle, so the box is quite small. It was actually the only one I could find in stores here. So I was happy to get it, although I do wish I had a little bit larger size. So let's take a look at the Maui Fantasy bottle design. So we have, of course, the traditional fantasy style, but it's quite different from the normal design. We no longer have the crystals along the sides of the bottle. Instead, we have this very nice frosted glass that's in a nice blue color. So it gives that nice ocean breeze kind of feel. And we have the white and pink hibiscus flower kind of drawn on the front of the bottle with a solid white collar and a transparent cap. So Maui Fantasy is a very fruity, floral, tropical beach explosion. It is a great summery fragrance and has a lot of personality to it. So in the top note of the fragrance, we have bird of paradise flower, pink grapefruit, and passion fruit. I feel like this fragrance has one of the most explosive openings from a Britney Fantasy fragrance. it's just this tsunami of tropical fruits and flowers just sort of crashing down on you. It's very, very delicious. It's very sweet. It's very bright and sunny. You can really smell that passion fruit. I'd say that is the strongest part of the fragrance. But it also has that nice, clean citrus grapefruit scent, sort of backing that up and keeping it very refreshed. It also gives me a very sort of candy vibe, like a beachy candy vibe. One that I haven't really seen this strong in a fantasy since Circus Fantasy, where it had that like Sour Patch Kids kind of like candy vibe. I feel like Maui Fantasy has that candy kind of in the background, sort of supporting those tropical fruits. So it's very delicious. It's very kind of like a it's just kind of like if you order like a strawberry daiquiri or just, you know, some sort of tropical fruity beverage that's just like way too high in the sugar count, but still just so delicious. That is kind of like what I get from the opening. Very, very delicious. And then in the heart of the fragrance, we have all of those beachy florals. We have hibiscus petals, we have cyclamen, we have tiare flower, and we have orange blossom. Now Britney, of course, picked these flowers, especially the hibiscus, to sort of represent that, give it that Hawaii feel. She mentioned in her little inspiration that the flowers are a main part of her experience, and she wanted to sort of incorporate that into the scent. So that really adds tremendously to the tropical vibe of this fragrance. It's not just, fruity. It is tropical, beachy, fruity. It really has that soft, sunny vibe to it. And these flowers, of course, were the perfect choices to blend with those already tropical fruits, the passion fruit and that sparkling grapefruit, to give it a nice, warm, yet uplifting, and in a way cool, like in a way refreshing, beachy, fruity feel. The base of the fragrance is delicious. We have coconut, we have vanilla, we have blue musk, we have white amber, and we have blonde woods. So it's a nice sweet base. This is where like the candy vibe I was getting is coming from. It's coming from that sweet vanilla, white amber, mixing with that coconut, adding even more of a beachy feel to it, and just blending wonderfully with all of these ingredients. It's just like a nice wave of fruity tropical adventure. One thing I like is that the passion fruit from the top really stays true to the fragrance. The grapefruit was wonderful, but it does sort of zest away and get washed as we sort of dive into the deeper part of the fragrance, whereas the passion fruit remains the entire time. It just never lets go. It's a nice passion fruit, beachy fragrance that is sweet, and I wouldn't really say that it's too coconutty. Like, the coconut is there and it's giving you that scent that you would get with the coconut, but it's not dominated by that. I feel like it's the passion fruit and the vanilla that kind of give it its strongest note, because I always get a sweet candied tropical fruit vibe from this before I get a warmer coconut vibe. And then at the end of the fragrance, you have this very warm memory of beach on your skin. Like, you can, if you smell yourself, like at the end of this fragrance, you can tell that you were at the beach today, or you think that you were at the beach today, even though you weren't, because it has that warm sort of skin musk with like the white amber, just a little bit sweet, and you still can smell the passion fruit and the coconut. So it's very subtle towards the end of the day. It's almost warmer, like it goes from refreshing to just like sunset warmth towards the end of the fragrance, and I think it really, really captures a wonderful beach experience. So obviously this is for summer, not even spring, like it has to be summertime. This is only for summer. It is the beach in a bottle. In terms of lasting power, I think it's pretty good. It is an eau de toilette fragrance designed for warmer weather, of course, so when put in that situation, it does sort of last the day, giving you the duration that you need. Okay, so we must discuss something. Many people were saying, before I smelled this fragrance, many people were saying that it smells very similar to another celebrity fragrance that we all love, we all know. It is sort of like the quintessential summer fragrance. And that fragrance is, I have her right here. I've had this one for quite a long time. I mean, I reviewed this one so long ago, I don't remember what I said. So the fragrance I'm talking about is our Miami Glow fragrance by Jennifer Lopez. So a lot of people were saying that it smells, just the same as this, it was a copy, whatever. So I finally, when I got a chance to smell it, a while ago when I got it, I thought to myself, I'm going to know right away, because nobody knows Miami Glow better than me. So I knew as soon as I sprayed it, I'm going to say either, yes, this smells just like it, or, they're all crazy. So the rumors are true. It does bear a striking resemblance to Miami Glow. There are some differences. Miami Glow has more of a hotter coconut musk to it, whereas Maui Fantasy has a more sugary vibe. I never really got like a pure sugary vibe from this. It was just tropical fruits, coconut, stronger on the coconut, stronger on that skin musk, stronger on that really hot sun quality, whereas this one has more of a refreshing vibe. So it's a little bit sweeter. It has that vanilla and white amber. The coconut is less in this one than it is in Miami Glow. But they are similar. If you like Miami Glow, you're going to like Maui Fantasy. Okay, so I just noticed now that Britney is no longer on the screen. I guess she's just drifted completely away on that little floaty and she's lost in the ocean. So I'm gonna go find her. But in the meantime, let me just kind of wrap this up. So Maui Fantasy is Britney's most tropical, most summery fragrance. It is a refreshed, sugared version of Miami Glow, if that's what you want to call it. I think it is, beach in a bottle. It is great for the summertime months. It has that nice passion fruit, hibiscus, Hawaiian vibe, and I think it's great for anyone who's looking for a new summer fragrance and anyone who wants to complete their Britney collection. Alright guys, so that's the end of my Maui Fantasy review. Tomorrow is day 6 of Britney week, so I hope you guys are excited for the last couple of days. I will see you guys tomorrow with another Britney review.